TV in here is gone as well. My God, they stole both of them. So our Airbnb was robbed recently. Hello, lovely folks. It is I am back. Went MIA for a little while. I was traveling out of the country for my birthday, so you can give me my happy birthday wishes below. But on a serious note, it wasn't just about vacationing. I'm gonna say this here because I want to put it out in the universe so the universe can hold me accountable. But a big part of my goals is to have an Airbnb A in every parish in Jamaica and B in other countries. So I'm not just thinking local. I really want to branch out. I really want to go big in this thing and just go hard or go home. And what is to stop me from doing this except my own fears and my own limitations that I put on myself? And as I said, that's why I'm putting it out there so y'all can hold me accountable, I can hold myself accountable. So a big part of me traveling was to explore other Airbnbs, really to get an idea of what the infrastructure and properties are like in overseas countries, and really to get an understanding of how much it will cost to acquire an Airbnb, to set up what their amenities are that they offer, and what their pricing strategy is like. So I stayed at a few places, did a little property hopping. I'm gonna drop the video on that soon. So no, this is not a vlog channel, a day in my life kind of channel, but I do have some vlogs on what I found on those properties. It was in Mexico, so that's where we started. In terms of properties there, property prices, amenities offered, and basically how much you'd have to purchase a property for and how much you're able to subrent it for as an Airbnb. And remember, there's always the option of arbitrage where you can rent a property and then subrent it on Airbnb, so you don't have to buy outright. So that's something to explore, something you can think of, and you can look out for that blog on those properties soon. This channel is all things Airbnb, all things business ideas, but for now, business ideas are Airbnb. But as I think of more, as I go along this entrepreneurship journey, I'm gonna share it. So if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. I think I'm at like 97 subscribers. I'm almost at 100. Yay! Give me that as small mercies. So in today's video, I decided that I've always shared, the upside to Airbnb. I've been sharing what the income earning potential is, the cost of setting it up, what my booking rate has been so far, and really just encouraging everyone to get started. True, because money is here for all of us to make. However, everything is not always rosy in this market. I've been operating now a little over 6 months. I've gotten my superhost designation twice because they do it at the end of each quarter. Yay me! So I think I've learned quite a lot. Not I think, I have learned quite a lot in what I would say is a short space of time. So I want to share with you today the ugly side of it. So on this channel, you can expect to see the good, the bad, and the ugly. And today we're gonna cover the bad and the ugly. And unfortunately, there are a lot of bad and ugly sides to it. I am absolutely not going to see the bad and the ugly always the good. Otherwise, I would have been running to the hills and probably going to the Sunday paper to look at corporate job and go back into corporate. But so far, it hasn't been bad enough to push me away, and I'm sticking it out for now. But if you're new, or if you're planning to newly enter the Airbnb space, it's important that you know what you're up against and you know what to expect. I'm gonna start from what I consider to be the worst of all the bad and ugly things I've experienced, and that is guest damages to your property. Now, I know a lot of persons are gonna say, yes, you can claim with their damages, but how many damages can you actually claim for? Not every type of damage is claimable, if you understand what I mean. So let's delve into these videos here. I'm gonna show you some real serious damages that I've experienced at my Airbnb so far. Like I said, it's only been 6 months, but yet these are damages that I've seen. And I'm gonna show you the ones I've been able to claim for and the ones that I just had to hug up the losses. And these are they. So this one made a mess in the couch. Had to deal with a lot of ants, couldn't claim for that. This one broke off the cupboard door. I claimed for that. This one broke off the back door. We didn't claim for this one because didn't see it until after. This one broke the toilet seat. Definitely claimed for that. This happened very early in me listing on Airbnb. Then a huge sore point for me has been the bathtub. They keep dropping things in there and chipping it and clogging it and leaving it dirty, and then I've had to pay to have it unclogged. As you can see, all this hair has gone on the drain and clogged it, and no, I couldn't claim for that, because how do you claim for your drain being clogged? Like, you know, and then they mess up the walls with makeup, because my walls are white and I've had to repaint it and touch it out. Obviously I can't claim for that. And then a big problem that you're gonna have is guests completely messing up your towels and your rags, especially if you keep them white. Like, everybody wants white to get that hotel experience, but look at this. Horrible. Horrible. Like, so I had to discard of those and I'm done, because what would I be doing with that? It was really bad. And there are some guests who will just, you know, take the towels and the rags, which you can claim for. But when they leave it like this, you know, you can't claim for them stealing it, but it looks so bad you can throw it away. And then another thing is them breaking stuff. This guest broke my vase. If you know anything about these vases, it's very tall and it cost a lot of money, and they broke it. And then they also break glassware a lot. So be prepared to be replacing glassware a lot. And I don't want to use plastic, because you know plastic just gets discolored and it doesn't look classy. But they break one of these cups like every week. And this person broke off the pipe and catch it back on. I don't know what they were doing to break off this pipe. That's just crazy to me. But I claim for this, because you would have had to be doing some kind of stunt in the bathroom to break the pipe, or at least that's what I think. And there's this guest who broke the stool. Sigh. And then there are the smokers who refuse to adhere to the no smoking inside the house policy. And sometimes when they're done, the house is just so horrible and you have to be scouring down wall, furniture, everything. So yeah. So the TV in here is gone as well. My God, they stole both of them. So our Airbnb was robbed recently. So they stole this 65-inch TV that was in the living room. The throw that was in the corner of the couch. We had two. So the one that was over here was stolen. So I had a TV on this wall. It's gone. Comfort on the bed. It's gone. Oh, a fan was in this corner right here. It's gone. More towels are stacked all the way up here. Towels are not missing. We had some painting storage in the cabinet. They took that as well. And they also destroyed the camera. So we had no footage to see when they were leaving. Yeah, they definitely knew what they were doing. Okay, so if y'all want more, let's jump into the other ugly sides of Airbnb. Guests are sometimes disingenuous. No, we want to price ourselves out of the competition and out of the market. So you find that when you do come up with a pricing strategy, it really allows for only marginal profit, right? And being super profitable in this industry is when you have multiple properties, which is what I'm aiming towards, because that is where you start to really accumulate profit. I don't think one property is enough for somebody to say, yes, I can live off this and just benefit from this one property and live for the rest of my life. Maybe somebody else can. Me personally, you know, Miss Hammond tenants, I'm kidding, I don't think I can. But the fact of the matter is, we're pricing so that we can be competitive. And like for my Airbnb, when I'm at, no, this is a 1 bed, 1 bath Airbnb. So I'm gonna price it for like 2 individuals, bearing in mind that, okay, this is how much light and how much water, how much utilities 2 persons would use, and therefore these are the expenses that I'll be able to cover from only 2 persons occupying the property, and therefore this is my profit. No, after having it listed as a 1 bed, 1 bath for 2 occupants, persons who make their reservations to see, yes, they're coming with 2 persons, and the 2 persons show up, and during the course of the day, you're seeing several other persons showing up. Or sometimes they actually show up from the get-go with these other persons, even though they only booked for 2. No, obviously, having additional persons over for an extended period of time, it is going to translate into more usage of utilities. That's more like more water, and eventually higher costs for you when you've only been able to recoup from the cost of having 2 persons versus them bringing several others. So it is highly unfair when you do make an effort to claim from these persons who were unscrupulous, I would call it, and deceptive or deceitful they get a little upset. They try to say that you're lying, and this is no, where your camera has to come into play. You have to provide footage. And my problem is I don't have an issue with my guests having visitors. I know how it is. You've been out of the country for a while. You're a little comfortable here. You may not be comfortable with where some of your friends or family members reside. But there is no way you can book a property for 2 persons and you come and then you have a whole family reunion, and then your family is here from in the morning all the way back to midnight. That's basically having the property occupied by these 6-7 people when you've only paid for 2. So yes, a guest can come by and stop for an hour or 2, but having several persons over from all the way into the morning into the night is, I think, a little disruptive. It's almost as if you always planned on having a family reunion and you don't want to rent a property that allows you to have a family reunion, but obviously would cost a little more. So you decided, I'm going to go this cheap route and then just bring over my people anyway and totally disregard what the rules of this Airbnb are. It's unfair because people think, oh, we're making these super normal profits. And in another video, we're going to cover what profit margins are for one property. So yeah, they're under the impression that you're making these super normal profits and therefore they can bring over as many persons as they like. Trust me, these many persons are everybody having to go to the toilet, and each person flushing the toilet, and each person washing their hands, and you're doing a big cookout for all of these people and using more gas and more electricity. It is eating away at a big chunk of our profit, and nobody, absolutely no one, goes into business so that they can make a loss. And at the rate of how some of these guests are operating, it's what it's going to end up being. And what I'm seeing are some complaints from this, like, oh, Airbnb hosts are getting greedy and they don't want you to have visitors and they want to charge you for visitors. I've always been a host who allows my guests to have visitors, but like I said, I've seen where it has been abused over the last few months, and I can understand why some hosts are just really strict and they're like, no visitors, absolutely no visitors, 2 persons max, and that's it. So that is a big negative right now, and something that you have to contend with because guests are really getting stingy. And that's another downside. They are going to ask for discounts and there's no tomorrow. On average, my Airbnb goes for like $50 a night. Obviously, in peak season, I go a little higher. When things are a little slow, I go a little lower. And regardless of how low it may be, there will always be someone every week asking for a $10 discount off per night. I'm like, that's crazy. But that's what they want. And I know this for a fact because there is an Airbnb close by that is really cheap. And when I say really cheap, it's probably like $12 cheaper than I am. And that stays booked consistently because people are grabbing up the cheapest one first. But yet the reviews are on the low end because obviously for the person to be that cheap, they're not offering certain amenities. So people go there and I assume they're not very comfortable, so they're not leaving reviews. Yet they still went there because it's cheaper. So you find that people want to come to your Airbnb where you're offering the air conditioning and the hot water. They want all of that, but they want it for a little bit of nothing. So they really wish you drop the prices. They're cheap and they can get all of it without paying a lot. And another big issue is the oversaturation of the market. Now here in St. Catherine alone, there are over 1,000 Airbnbs. I'm a person who likes to do my research. I like to survey the market, and every month there are new listings. Everybody has heard about, the benefits of getting your Airbnb, and everybody wants to jump in. You can't blame them. Everybody deserves to have a piece of the pie. But because of the oversaturation, you find that your bookings are not fast and furious. Now, even though I maintain like a 90% booking rate on average, my bookings are very last minute. So I'd have a booking for this week, and let's say this person is checking out on Friday, and up to Wednesday or Thursday of the week when the person is checking out, I have no other bookings. And Friday comes along, I see bookings coming in for Saturday or Sunday, or probably the following week. So you find that because of the competition, guests are waiting until the very last minute to book. And I guess they've also heard that most Airbnb property managers tend to drop the prices when the time is closing in and there are no bookings. So because of that, they're waiting out to see, let's see what the price will be dropped to so they can jump in on it. So I don't make that a practice really of dropping the prices at the last minute, because truth be told is, if you need a property at the last minute and this is the only one available, you're gonna take what you see. You understand me? So it goes both ways. But yes, the oversaturation does lead to higher competition. Higher competition leads to less profitability. But even though some persons may still be able to get the same booking rate, you find that your bookings are very last minute. It's not all the way in advance, so it's almost very difficult to plan and to say, yes, for this month, this is what I'm gonna make, and these are the bookings I have. You literally don't know until you're coming closer to the time. But that's how it's been for me. It's only like the very dirt cheap Airbnbs I see that are booked way in advance. And like I said, I don't think a lot of persons who want to go there, they just do it because it's very cheap. And lastly, in terms of the good, the bad, and the ugly, we do know the regulations are coming. I'm not going to talk about this much because I don't know much about it. I don't know what to expect, but I can tell you regulations will lead to one of two or a combination of two things, and that is taxes and tighter rules, like more rules, which means you have to be registered, you have to be filing every quarter or once a year, etc., etc., etc. So it can't in any way, shape, or form means, oh, it's going to be more relaxed and we're going to get more money. No, once the government is involved and regulations are coming, it's going to be more rules and more taxes, combination of both or one or the other. So we're just waiting for that. I am not worried about it because having came out of the banking sector in the past, there were two regulations that were coming that I was very off with, and that was regulating the microfinance sector and the credit union sector, and both of them took years to come on board, like a whole lot of years. So I'm not worried about it now, but it is something that if it does take place really soon, then can only mean penalties or taxes or tighter restrictions. So thank you for sitting to my little pep talk. Thank you for coming to my channel. Remember to subscribe so I can hit 100. Really, I love to hit 1,000 because I'm not monetized. I'm doing this to help y'all, so help me to help you. But stay tuned for my other videos coming up soon. I have some exciting things doing. I can't wait to share with you guys. Thank you for coming. Bye until next time.